This lick is based on an A minor triad, just a basic 1-3-5 triad, and I'm going to add some color to this by doing some chromatic neighbor tones. Chromatic neighbor tones are notes that are a half step away from notes that are in the triad. So we have the major 7 and the flat 5, so G sharp and E flat. The lick starts on the top with some picking, major 7, flat 5. From here, I'm going to sweep down, flat 5, major 7, flat 5, major 7, major 7. So here's the whole lick slowly. There you have it. This lick is in D major, starts in this basic arpeggio shape here at the 14th fret. I'm going to start at the top, pick, and then some chromaticism. Pick, pick, pull off. Down the shape. Here I'm going to slide within the scale on the G string, back up to the high note. Then I'm going to do these intervals of a third, and I'm going to slide into each of them. And end with a D major 7 arpeggio. Here's the whole thing slowly. There you go. This big sweeping tapping lick comes from the solo to my song Broken Epistemology, which I posted a live take of a couple of weeks ago. Here's this lick in context. This is over an A major 7 sharp 11 chord, so we're in A Lydian here, and I start with this sweeping shape. Basically an A major 7. This shape on top is like a C sharp minor, but I have an A on the bottom. And when I reach the top, I tap the 19th fret, and then 21st, and back to 19. If you haven't done this multi-finger tapping stuff before, it's a little bit weird, especially getting that pull off from the ring back to the middle. Of course, I have to go right back into sweeping after that too. So I'm just going up and down this shape. Then I'm going to slide up to this E major shape. Tap on the 23rd fret, bend the tap, release the tap, slide my ring finger up to the 24th fret, bend. So a bunch of stuff back to back there. So all together slowly. This lick is based on a really cool idea. I'm going to take a G minor chord, and you could use any chord, but I'm going to approach each note from a scale tone below it, and then I'm going to let them ring. So I slowly build this chord up, and it rings out. Then I also do that in the next position. Sometimes I'm hammering on, and sometimes I'm sliding depending on which finger I'm using. So the lick starts down here, and I build this chord. Next position, and then at the end I do this shape, which is like B flat, and I slide the whole chord up to this G minor 9 shape and hit the low note with my middle finger. There you go. All right, this is an arpeggio lick in the key of E minor. Has a bunch of slides and a couple of large interval jumps as well. So I start on this E minor shape, a couple of pick notes, then into the arpeggio. Then I jump all the way back up and slide into this E minor 11 shape. Then up to the B string and do some sliding with scale notes. all coming from E natural minor. And then I go down a G major 7 arpeggio, back up to the G string, slide into this E minor 9 shape. Whole thing slowly. And a little bit faster. There you go. This lick uses the idea of 2-note per string modal shapes, or pentatonic modal shapes. Not that they're actually pentatonic scales, but that they have 2 notes per string like a pentatonic scale. So I start this sequence in D minor pentatonic. It's an 8-note pattern that I'm alternate picking. It just goes down each set of strings. And what I'm going to do is put that into a Lydian pentatonic shape, which looks like this. It has all of the important notes of Lydian, but it's 2 notes per string, like a pentatonic scale. So I'll put that sequence into here, and it sounds like this. There you go. This lick is based on a 5-note shape. It looks like this. It's kind of an E minor 7 type of a sound, and I'm picking it like this. Up, down, down, up, down. So there's economy picking. I'm going to take the same pattern on a B minor 7 shape. And do that an octave up. And then finish off with some notes from E natural minor. So you get the same economy picking pattern the entire time. You could also alternate pick this, but I think it's a little bit easier, at least for me, and a little bit smoother to economy pick it. So here's the whole thing slowly. This lick is an example of how I might string different arpeggio shapes together. In this case, this is over a minor 7 chord or a minor 9 chord, but I could do this over a major 7 chord or a dominant 7 or even some sort of altered chords. But here it's in G minor. I'm going to start with this shape down here. It's a G minor 9, 2 notes on 1 string, and then 1, and then 2. It's a shape I use a lot. I'll slide up to the 3rd there. Go back down and then come back up. And then it's straight into this B flat major 9 shape. So I'm kind of superimposing that over top of this G minor sound. So you have some extensions there, right? You get the 7th, 9th, and even the 11th. And then from here, I'm going to slide up into this G minor shape. It's like a classic sweep shape. If you've done any kind of sweeping, you're probably used to that particular shape. Then I'm going to turn that into a 7th chord by adding the 7th. And here I'm going to slide up to the next position of G minor 7 based on this sweep shape, that minor shape. What I'm going to do here is tap on the top. This is a good example of how I like to use tapping in this context, just as an extension of the left hand, basically, to reach some notes I couldn't normally reach. A little slide with the tap, and then from here I'm sliding up to this shape, which is a D minor 7, or I'm really thinking of it as being, once again, a B flat major 9, that kind of shape, or like a G minor 11. So here I go up, Add some scale tones, tap, 2 different tapped fingers here. And on the way down, we do some string skipping with tapping. Once again, based on that minor 9 shape, but throwing in some scale tones. So the whole thing all together. This is a lick in D minor. It's based around this shape, which is 2/5 stacked on top of each other. Now I start down here, and then I slide up to the next shape. So it's similar shapes, but they're all coming from D minor. Now what I'm actually doing in the lick is to alternate pick except for when I'm sliding. But you could also economy pick. And I might do that if I was trying to play a little bit faster, but I'm alternate picking it in this case. So this isn't really a lick, it's more of an alternate picking sequence. And what it's doing is working on 2 different aspects of switching strings. So you got it's the first half of it, and there I'm going over the string with my pick, right? And then the second half looks like this. And that's going inside. These are all basic sextuplet kind of classic shred patterns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm just going through D harmonic minor, but you could choose any scale. And I just take that exact same sequence, start it on the next string. And all the way up. So if I do the whole thing slowly, it looks like this. There you go. This is a country/bluegrass lick in A. It's this basic pattern. Pick, pull off, pick, hybrid pick, pull off, pick, hybrid pick. So get that under your fingers. I'm just going to take it down all of the strings, combining the minor and major pentatonic, which is a very common country sound. There you go. this is an arpeggio sequence right out of C harmonic minor. It basically follows a 1-5 to 1 progression. So C minor to G7 and then back to C minor. Starts with this minor major 9 shape. Really cool. It has some really nice extended arpeggios inside of it. Then right down to a C minor shape. Then to the 5 chord, G7. So I'm going up the arpeggio, then into the harmonic minor scale. Then we do this G major arpeggio with an added flat 13. So it's G major with an E flat. And end with this big C minor sweep, where I tap from the major 7 to the root and back. Alright, this is a picking pattern I like to use all the time. It's a 2-note per string pattern, so I'll show you it using the pentatonic scale, just an A minor here. You start on the 5th fret of the high E string, and go up, and back down to the 5th fret of the G string, back up, and then the pattern starts over there, so it's 8 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then what I'd normally do is I'll just slowly work down the scale. And then it starts on the B string, G, so on and so forth. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Something like that. You can cycle the top 2 strings of it too.